My name is Bryan Lynch, and this airplane was flown by my great uncle Herbert McMinn, and he was my dad's uncle. And Herbert grew up in Goulbusk, Texas, went to Texas A&M, enlisted in the Navy, and that's when he began flying this airplane. I was at a medical conference in Vermont, and I got a phone call from a guy that said, "Hey, is your dad Joe Lynch? Is your grandmother Thelma Bounds? Do you remember Herbert McMinn?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who is this?" And it was Taras Lysenko calling me because he was the guy who recovered the aircraft. And he had just, through a Freedom of Information Act, received all of the data about the pilot, including the correspondence with my great-grandfather. And so he was able to track me down. I mean, if you imagine losing an uncle or a family member quite some time ago, he's always been a big mystery to our family. You know, what happened to Uncle Herbert? You know, we knew he went down in the water during training, and they never recovered the body, which was in itself very sad for my grandfather and, you know, his family, for my great-grandfather. And so it was always been a big tragedy and a mystery to our family, but we were always proud, you know, that we had Herbert in the service of the Navy. And so to receive this call out of the blue that they've recovered this airplane and they're going to restore it, it's just been fantastic. And it really has allowed us to close the loop on that story and then get involved in a great project. Well, education is the key on this thing. We want to get everybody to understand the sacrifices made by the greatest generations and their families. And they have repercussions through the families for years. So it's important to understand that. It's also, through restoration, important to educate the American public and just kids in general about the engineering and the skill that went into the original design and fabrication of the airplane, but also what goes into the restoration of the airplane. Those are skills that are sorely underdeveloped in our country, or at least underappreciated. And we think that by participating in the restoration of an aircraft like this, we can educate a lot of kids to get involved. We think it's great. In fact, I look forward to going up to Kalamazoo and, you know, sanding or doing some riveting or whatever, you know, to put a little effort into the thing as well personally. We would really like to thank the people that have the passion to put an airplane like this back together and really turn it into a great a model for people.